Hello everyone, MC here. Um, I wanted to do a small update where today, November 11, I believe, and yeah, my last update was done, I think, almost 2 months ago. We were about to move to the south of France, and I was talking about that, and yeah, I was making an update also on my tarot readings from the start of the year, all the important readings I have done, or the significant readings if I want. So you can check my 2 previous videos if you're interested. I'm still thinking often about these spreads, these significant, very significant spreads from the end of last year and the start of this year, 2019. Yeah, because these spreads at the start of the year we got, I think, two moon eclipse or something like that, and it was extremely powerful time the start of the year, especially January, where my energy was really to the roof, and then, as I explained in my previous videos, in February my health really collapsed, and it got better this summer. I think the sunshine is really helping. So that's why we decided to move to the south of France, where I lived in the past. So we made the jump. So here we are. I'm talking to you from a small village in the Languedoc-Roussillon area. We're about 1 hour and a half from Montpellier. Montpellier is near the sea. So we're here temporarily in this house here. We rented for the winter. So, and it's beautiful. I will try to show you just a bit now. I'll move the tripod so I don't know if you can see. This is my view. These beautiful mountains. Yeah, the sun is shining now. Okay, so yeah, I think you can get a rough idea. There's a nice swimming pool, which of course we cannot use because it's 10 degrees outside. Um, so I wanted to talk a bit about that, about this situation which I found myself in. Um, and I hope the video will not stop recording because I think this would be a long story. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk a bit about this crazy event which happened in my life, which is to move overseas. Actually, it's the 5th time that I do that in my life, and I realized lately that it's always around different uh, different times which are very similar. So, for example, I left Quebec, where I was living in Canada, at age 24. I moved to Germany. I came back to Canada at age 28. Then at age 34, I moved back to Europe. We moved to Paris, me and my husband. Excuse me, because yeah, he is Austrian, he's European, so it grants me the right to live in Europe, which I'm really grateful for because I so don't feel Canadian. I never felt like I belong so much in this culture. I love the North American culture, and I really miss it when I'm in Europe. After a year, I start to miss it. But anyways, long story short. So at 24, I left for Germany. At 34, I left for Paris. And guess it, now I'm 44 and we moved back to the south of France. So this back and forth is going on since a while. And now, since it's the 5th time that I do that, because I did it back and forth, I noticed how difficult it gets the more I age, the more roots I want to have firmly planted on the ground. But in Quebec, I could never grow these roots, which is very weird. But just to give you an idea how this transition is done, since July, we started to search for a house, temporary rental, because we knew we could not rent a long-term rental from overseas. So when you start this kind of project, you have to be in for a long, bumpy ride because, uh, yeah, so the house where we were living already since a year was temporary because we knew we want to leave for Europe. So the situation was already like temporary. So we lived in that house in Quebec for 1 year. Then in July we started to search for a house in Quebec, in France, sorry. We started to slowly pack our stuff. I say slowly, but it takes you a while to, excuse me, to wrap up everything, which you have all your belongings. And I had stuff at my mom's place, still at my dad's place. So I had to bring everything together. And for the first time in my life, I had all my stuff with me in one place. My stuff has been scattered around since, I mean, for the last 44 years. So once we got all my stuff in one place, we started to sell a lot of stuff. We started to wrap stuff. We started to trash stuff. You have to go through everything, which is really difficult emotionally. And then at the end of September, the mover came. They picked up all our boxes, and we had about 8 cube meters of boxes. And so, yeah, so you have to plan basically before they come to pick up your boxes. You have to plan, okay, what do I need to keep with me for the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, because you don't know when you will open these boxes again. You don't know if you will get them all delivered in shape. Stuff gets lost in overseas moving. So it puts you in a really fragile state where, yeah, it's really hard. You have to think everything you have. If this has value to you and you could not live without it, you need to bring it with you in the airplane, you know? And there is a limit to what you can bring in the airplane. And even there it can be lost. So I had to go through all my stuff and decide, okay, what do I keep with me without knowing how long this situation will last. So it could be that we get our boxes in 2 months. It could be that we get our boxes in 6 months. We don't know. So I had to go through all my stuff and see what is precious, what is not, and make decisions. And so at the end of September, the mover came and took our boxes, and I said goodbye to all my tarot decks, all my crystals. And these, for me, are like pets. They're like friends. They're like companions. So it was very, very hard for me the last months to live without all these around me. Of course, I brought with me some crystals and some books and some of my tarot decks, but I'm one of these people who feel very naked without all these elements around me, all these symbols, which make me comfortable, because I spend all my time studying. So in a way, I also felt very light and very free when we arrived here. The first thing I realized was like, oh my God, these 8 cube meters of boxes feel so heavy. Can I not just not get them? You know, just maybe they should be lost in the sea and I get the insurance money instead to buy a nice house, you know? But now we're here since 3 weeks and I start to very much miss my stuff and what makes me, basically. So that's what happens when you do such a move. You live in other people's stuff, and yeah, you have to make choices. And now that I'm here, I realize, okay, I should have brought this, not that, and this and that. You have to have just enough clothes for to survive on. And we don't even have kids. I don't want to imagine people who do that kind of move with kids, how difficult this must be. And so yeah, we made it. We made the move, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy to be here. But yeah, the move was very difficult on on the nervous system for me, who has health condition, and my husband, who's very much in shape, is found it also very, very difficult. you have to say goodbyes also before you leave, and you're never 100% sure if it's the right thing to do. And since it's so expensive, this kind of move, you don't want to have to come back in 2 years. And since we did it so many times now, it's like I just want to settle down and never move again. um, but yeah, it takes time and years to realize what your needs are, where you in my where I stand, I'm in a position where I'm really lucky. I can live wherever I want, and but in a way, it's also weird because I have a choice which most people don't have. You know. So, do we live in Europe? Do we live in America? And it's always this question which is in the back of our mind because we have this possibility, this opportunity to be able to live on both continents. Sometimes I wish I would not have that choice. It would have made maybe my life a bit more simple, but um, it's like that. So I'm grateful that I can do this and that I can be in Europe now, and let's see where we will end. So yeah, I just wanted to do a short update about the situation, about the move, and I will stop this video now because I think YouTube is gonna chop me there anyways. I will do a second video about tarot decks and books which I've read, which I've used in the last weeks, the tarot decks which I decided to bring with me. So if you're interested, just watch the next video. Otherwise, I should be able to do an update hopefully in the next month or two to keep you posted about my adventures. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.